Welcome back to the Stoic Tube, why the longer a man is single, the stronger, clearer, and more powerful he becomes. In a world that constantly pushes people into relationships, the idea of a man remaining single, by choice or by circumstance, is often misunderstood. Society tends to equate being single with loneliness or incompleteness, especially for men past a certain age. But the truth is, for many men, remaining single for an extended period can be one of the most empowering and transformative phases of life. It allows for deep self-discovery, clarity of purpose, emotional resilience, and an unshakable sense of personal power. Let's dive into why the longer a man remains single, the stronger, clearer, and more powerful he becomes. 1. Mastery over emotions. When a man is single, he often has to confront his emotions alone, without the buffer of a romantic partner to lean on. This forces him to understand, regulate, and master his emotional responses. Instead of projecting his insecurities onto someone else, he learns to process them. He becomes emotionally self-sufficient. That emotional independence is strength. It builds resilience. A man who can sit with his sadness, face his fears, and still keep moving forward becomes unbreakable. 2. Clarity of thought and purpose. Relationships, especially unhealthy or codependent ones, can cloud a man's vision. Being single removes the noise. No constant arguments, no emotional roller coasters, no need to constantly compromise on goals or time. With solitude comes clarity. A single man has the mental space to ask himself, who am I? What do I want out of life? What kind of legacy do I want to leave? These are questions most people avoid by getting lost in others. A single man confronts them directly, and the answers fuel his drive. 3rd time for self-improvement. Men who stay single for longer often use that time to level up. They hit the gym, they read, they build businesses, explore their hobbies, travel the world, or learn new skills. Every hour not spent managing a relationship is invested in becoming a better version of themselves. This consistent self-improvement compounds over time. 5 years of focused self-development can turn an average man into a disciplined, confident, and capable leader in his field. This is the true power of solitude. It offers uninterrupted time to evolve. 4th, financial freedom and control. Relationships often come with financial commitments, dates, gifts, shared living costs, or even supporting a partner. A single man controls his finances completely. He can save, invest, and take calculated risks. Over time, this financial discipline gives him power. He doesn't rely on anyone. He doesn't compromise on his dreams for the sake of someone else's needs. He builds his empire brick by brick. When money flows through your hands and you have full command over it, you don't just gain wealth, you gain confidence and independence. 5. Emotional detachment equals inner peace. The longer a man is single, the more emotionally detached he becomes from drama, manipulation, or neediness. He's not easily provoked. He learns to operate from logic, not impulse. Detachment doesn't mean he stops caring. It means he no longer needs external validation to feel whole. This calm detachment is rare and powerful. It gives him peace, and peace is the foundation for wise decisions, strategic moves, and enduring strength. 6. Freedom to walk his own path. When a man is not tied down, he can move in any direction he chooses. He can pack a bag and travel across the country. He can quit his job and start a business. He can reinvent himself at any moment. This level of freedom allows him to truly live life on his terms. With no one to please but himself, every decision he makes is rooted in authenticity. That level of freedom fosters boldness, and boldness breeds greatness. 7. Higher standards in relationships. Ironically, the longer a man stays single, the less likely he is to settle. He's not desperate. He doesn't date out of loneliness or fear. He knows his worth. He's seen how peaceful and productive life can be on his own. So, if someone enters his life, they must add to it, not complicate it. He becomes selective, not out of arrogance, but from experience. He seeks depth, alignment, and mutual growth, not just surface-level attraction. 8th, spiritual and philosophical growth. Solitude often nudges a man toward deeper questions about existence, meaning, and purpose. Many single men dive into spiritual practices, meditation, journaling, or philosophical studies like Stoicism or Buddhism. These practices bring them closer to their inner self. They develop wisdom. They see life from a higher perspective, not just through the lens of emotions or ego. This spiritual foundation makes them calm under pressure, grateful in adversity, and unshaken by temporary setbacks. 9. Becoming a leader, not a follower. Most men in long-term relationships, especially ones formed early, tend to follow routines and adopt roles expected by society. But a single man navigating life solo must lead himself. That leadership mindset becomes second nature. He learns to trust his instincts. He takes responsibility for every outcome in his life. Over time, this self-leadership extends to others. People begin to respect his presence, seek his advice, and follow his example. 10th, unfiltered authenticity. Lastly, the longer a man is single, the more he sheds societal expectations. He stops pretending. He doesn't put on a mask to please a partner. He says what he means. He does what feels right to him. This raw authenticity makes him rare and magnetic. In a world full of facades, a man who is unapologetically himself stands out. Conclusion: being single isn't a weakness. It's not a phase to be pitied or rushed through. For the modern man, it can be a season of refinement, growth, and awakening. The longer he walks alone, the more he discovers his strength, his clarity, and his power. So if you're a man who finds himself single, not by accident, but by design, embrace it. Use it. Build yourself into the kind of man who doesn't need anyone, but whom others are drawn to naturally. Because true power isn't found in being with someone. It's found in becoming